My name is Cristiano Ronaldo, but that name, the one you know now, it wasn't always like this. Before the trophies, before the fame, before the lights, cameras, stadiums, and screams, I was just a little boy. A boy with skinny legs, a fast heartbeat, and a wild, impossible dream. I come from a small island called Madeira in Portugal. You've probably heard of it now, because of me. But back then, it was just a forgotten corner of the world, a place where dreams rarely leave the ground. I was born into a poor family. My mother was a cook and a cleaner. My father worked at a local football club as a kit man. We didn't have much. No big house. No expensive toys. No luxury. But I had one thing most kids didn't. I had hunger. Not just hunger in my stomach, although yes, sometimes we had no proper food on the table. No, I'm talking about a hunger in the soul. A fire inside that whispered to me every single day, "You're meant for more. You're not here to be average. You're here to be great." Even when I was 7, 8, 9 years old, I didn't think like the other kids. They played for fun. I played for purpose. They were laughing. I was training. They were dreaming. I was doing. People used to laugh at me. They'd say, "Look at him. He thinks he'll be a professional footballer." But I didn't care, because I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I was preparing to shock everyone. I've been doubted. I've been hated. I've been told I'm arrogant, selfish, obsessed, and maybe they were right, because I am obsessed. Obsessed with winning, obsessed with excellence, obsessed with becoming the best version of myself every single day. But let me tell you something. That obsession, that mindset, it didn't come from fame. It came from struggle. And if you're here listening to this, then maybe deep down you're struggling too. Maybe you're tired of being average, tired of waiting, tired of being told what you can or cannot do. Well, I'm here to tell you something. Success is not a gift, it's a decision. And today I want to take you on a journey, not just through my career, but through my mentality, my philosophy, my mindset. Because I believe, like, if I could rise from nothing, you can too. So sit back, listen carefully, not just with your ears, but with your heart. This is my story. I still remember the smell of the streets in Madeira, the dust, the wind, the rough sound of kids shouting as we kicked around an old ball, torn, half flat but full of dreams. That ball, it was my escape, my freedom, my friend. It didn't matter that I had holes in my shoes. It didn't matter that I didn't have fancy gear or clean socks. What mattered was that every time I touched that ball, I felt powerful. I felt alive. I grew up in a small house, 4 siblings, 1 tiny room, no luxury. We didn't have new clothes. We didn't eat like kings. My mother worked 2 jobs just to feed us. My father, he was a quiet man. He had his demons. He worked hard, but he struggled. He drank. And as a boy, that wasn't easy to watch. But even then, I never hated him. He was still my father. And when I saw him carrying the players' kits at the local football club, I used to think, one day they'll carry mine. At age 10, I started playing for a local team. People noticed me. They said I was fast, aggressive, different. I scored goals, but I wanted more. I didn't want to be the best in my town. I wanted to be the best in the world. And so at just 12 years old, I made the biggest decision of my life. I left home. I left my island. I left my family. I left my mother's cooking, my father's hugs, my comfort, all for a dream. I moved to Lisbon to join Sporting CP's academy. It was a different world. Big city, big pressure. Big boys. And me? I was just a skinny kid with a thick accent and no money. They laughed at me. They mocked my voice, my clothes, my background. They told me I'd never make it. And every night in that dorm room, I cried. I missed my family. I missed my home. But I didn't give up. Instead, I trained harder. While others slept, I worked. I ran up hills. I lifted weights. I practiced with both feet. I watched my diet. I studied the game. At 13, 14, 15, I wasn't living like a kid. I was living like a man on a mission. Pain was my teacher. When I was 14, the doctors told me I had a racing heart. They said it could end my career before it started. I could have stopped right there. Given up, stayed safe. But no, I chose to fight. I got surgery, was quick and dangerous. And just days later, I was back on the pitch. Running. Kicking. Faster than before. Because I told myself, if God gave me this talent, then I will use every last drop of it. My father, he started getting sicker. The drinking got worse. I would call home and hear his silence. It broke me. When I finally made it to Manchester United at 18, he didn't come to my first big matches. When I won my first trophies, he wasn't there to celebrate. He died before he could see what I became. That pain, it stayed with me. But I turned it into fuel. Hard work made me who I am. I wasn't the most talented player in every room, but I was always the most obsessed. People used to laugh because I would train after training. They'd say, "Why is he doing extra sprints? Why is he eating chicken and broccoli every day? Why is he so serious all the time?" Because I wasn't there to make friends. I was there to make history. Even now people ask, "Cristiano, what's your secret?" It's no secret. It's hard work. Relentless, boring, painful hard work every single day. While they sleep, I train. While they party, I recover. While they doubt, I believe. Because I saw what life looks like with nothing, and I never want to go back. This was just my beginning. From a small room in Madeira, to the big lights of Lisbon, to the world's biggest stages, and still I was only getting started. When I arrived at Manchester United, I was only 18 years old, a teenager, stepping into a world of giants. And yet I wasn't scared, because fear doesn't live where purpose does. Sir Alex Ferguson. He wasn't just a coach, he was a father figure. He believed in me before the world did. When others saw a skinny boy with tricks, he saw a warrior with potential. He pushed me. He shouted when I was lazy. He corrected me when I was wrong. And he protected me when the critics came. That manatee changed my life. In my first season, I struggled. The speed, the pressure, the expectation, it was like a storm. But I kept my head down. I worked, I learned, and slowly, the magic started to happen. I remember the first time I heard Old Trafford scream my name. Ronaldo! Ronaldo! That sound. It gave me goosebumps. Not because it fed my ego, but because it proved I belonged here. I trained like I was still poor. Even after winning games, I would stay behind. Train longer. Shoot more. Practice free kicks again and again. Until my feet bled. Because I remembered where I came from. I remembered nights without dinner. I remembered the smell of wet socks drying on radiators. I remembered my mother's tears. So I trained like I was still hungry, still broke, still unnoticed. And guess what? In just a few years, I became one of the most feared wingers in the world. Fast, focused, relentless. But deep inside, I wasn't satisfied. Because I didn't just want to be great in England. I wanted to be the best in the world. The Madrid dream. When Real Madrid called me, it felt like destiny. 94 million. The most expensive player in the world at that time. People said I would fail. That I would crack under pressure. That the price tag would crush me. But I wasn't focused on the price. I was focused on the purpose. Madrid was different, bigger. More pressure. More lights. But I arrived with one thing in my mind. Break records. Break limits. Break expectations. And I did. Year after year, the goals, assists, trophies, Champions League wins. But again, let me tell you the truth. It wasn't talent. It was work. I sacrificed everything. Birthdays, vacations, nights out, even relationships. Because I had a vision, a purpose, a dream too loud to ignore. Messi made me better. Now let me talk about something people always ask. Messi. Yes, the rivalry was real. He pushed me. I pushed him. We made each other better. It wasn't hate. It was hunger. Every time he scored, I wanted to score too. Every time he won, I wanted to win more. That competition? It kept me sharp. It kept me focused. It made me train harder when no one was watching. So if you ask me, did Messi make me better? Absolutely. Because when two lions fight, they both grow stronger. The mindset of a champion. People think I'm just a machine, that I don't feel, that I don't cry. But they're wrong. I've had days where I wanted to quit. I've had injuries, doubts, personal pain. But champions don't stop because they're tired. They stop because they've won. My mindset? It's simple. Never satisfied. Always improving. Always humble enough to learn. Always hungry enough to grow. I sleep with purpose. I wake up with fire. And every time I touch the ball, I remind myself, you came from nothing. Now prove you deserve everything. From Manchester to Madrid. From goals to greatness. From doubt to dominance. And yet, this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning of my evolution. People say, Once you hit 30, you slow down, that your body declines, that your best days are behind you. But I never listened to people. At 30, I changed my training. I hired personal chefs, sleep specialists, recovery experts. I studied my body like a machine. Because champions don't guess, they plan. When I turned 30, I didn't decline. I upgraded. While others were thinking about retiring, I was breaking records. While others were slowing down, I was speeding up. That's the mindset. Don't follow the rules of average. Write your own rules. Juventus and reinvention. Moving to Juventus wasn't just a career decision. It was a challenge to myself. New country, new system, new culture. And still I dominated. People wondered, why does he still push so hard? He's already rich. He's already a legend. Because I never played for money. I played for purpose. Money comes, fame comes. But legacy, that's different. Legacy is what people whisper about you when you're not in the room. It's what your kids remember. It's what lives after your last match is played. That's what I'm building. The move to Al Nassr, respect for all paths. Some said my move to Saudi Arabia was the end. That I chose money. That I gave up the top level. Let me tell you something. I didn't go to Al Nassr to relax. I went to inspire. Football is global. Talent exists everywhere. And if I can help grow the sport, inspire young kids in a different part of the world, that matters to me. Respect all paths, because not every success looks the same. Criticism never breaks me. I've been criticized since I was a boy. They said I was too flashy, too confident, too hungry. But here's the truth. If no one is criticizing you, you're playing too small. The more you rise, the more they talk. But I learned, don't feed the noise. Feed your focus. Let them talk. You keep walking. Let them doubt. You keep working. The pressure? I don't fear it. I am the pressure. What success really means. You want to know what real success is? It's not the cars, not the watches, not the money. It's the freedom to live life on your terms. It's being able to give your mother everything she once sacrificed for you. It's knowing your name became bigger than your circumstances. Success is impact. And my goal has never just been to score goals, it's been to inspire lives. Advice to you, the listener. If you're still here, still listening to my voice, then something inside you refuses to give up. And I want you to know this. You don't need to be the most talented. You don't need to come from money. You don't need anyone's permission. You need discipline. You need belief. You need to fall in love with the boring stuff, the reps, the routine, the silence. You need to sacrifice comfort for greatness. You want success? Then stop waiting. Start moving. And when it gets hard, keep going. Because trust me, no one remembers the guy who almost made it. They remember the one who never stopped. My legacy. I've won titles. I've broken records. But the greatest thing I've built is mindset. A mindset that can't be bought. A mindset that wakes up before the world and says, I was born for more, and I will die proving it. I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, and this isn't just my story. This can be your story too. So what will you do with it? You've heard my story. From a small island to the biggest stages in the world. From a poor kid with no shoes to a name known in every corner of the planet. But this was never just about football. This was about the power of belief. About what happens when you refuse to give up. People will try to define you. They'll tell you who you are. They'll remind you of your limits, of where you came from, of what's realistic. But listen to me carefully. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are what you decide to become. I was never the most gifted, but I was always the most focused, the most disciplined, the most obsessed. I gave up comfort to earn greatness. I gave up parties to build legacy. I gave up being liked so I could become remembered. And you have that same fire inside you. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what's happened to you. I care what you're going to do about it. Make a decision. Right now, this moment in Music Crossroad, you can ignore this video. Scroll to the next thing. Waste another day, or you can decide, right here, right now, that this is the moment your life begins to change. Not tomorrow. Not when it's convenient. Now, because the truth is this. No one is coming to save you. Success is your responsibility. Wake up earlier. Work harder. Shut out the noise. Build your mind. Train your body, protect your vision, and never, ever stop. I'm not done yet, and neither are you. Even now, after everything I've achieved, I'm still training, still competing, still dreaming, because I was never chasing trophies. I was chasing the best version of myself. That version is always one step ahead, and that's what keeps me moving. So don't settle, don't stop, don't slow down. You were born for something great. You feel it. I know you do. So now it's your turn, not to watch greatness, but to become it. Pause, deep breath. This is Cristiano Ronaldo, and this was never just my story. This was our story. Now go write yours.